Ida says, hey, I look forward to it, and all of a sudden just passes out. Well, let me not say passes out, she dies. Harold, my boy. I know you had Elbaph's best interest at mind, but you were really short-sighted on this one. I ain't surprised that Emu did what he did, and the fact that Harold didn't even question nothing is crazy. This is One Piece chapter 1068. We gotta talk about it. So the chapter starts off with different people. They're starting to give the giants a little bit more love. They talk about how the giants that are within the Marines, they're so reliable, they're doing a good job, and people are like, hey, I thought they were scary at first, and now I genuinely want to meet them. You have different people that have been trading with Elbaph. Some people love Elbaph's cuisine, some of their seafoods. Some people are taking their lumber, just different items. People are now willing to finally do trade. And Harold is like, hey, you know, we finally are on the verge. We're so close to becoming an acknowledged nation within the world government. Let's build different ships so we can sightsee and people can pay different visits to their allies and honestly just start immersing themselves in other people's culture. It's so tough. This was so tough, and I already knew it was going to happen based off of how the last chapter ended, as well as, well, Oda just loves killing off moms. Apparently, Harold and Saul, they're having different conversation. They're like, hey, I'm glad we were able to make the school because, yes, I understand that, you know, military might and strength is important, but, you know, I don't necessarily think that it's all of that. There's so much more than just fighting and violence, and the person that taught him that was Ida. We know how Harold, he was a dickhead. Let's be honest. He was out here beating on other people, plundering, doing whatever he wanted. Met Ida, got humbled, and actually started caring about other people and, you know, just trying to learn more about him or about them. And what really sucks is Ida, she's dead, right? She passed away. We know she got poisoned in the last chapter. And what I love about Harold is that he acknowledges Ida and how she was the person that influenced him. And also he stated that meeting her was the greatest blessing of his life, because Ida, she wanted Harold to be better, and Harold, because he met her, he wanted to be better for her. So I love that Harold acknowledges Ida and that they were genuinely in love with each other. I just think it's so cute. We get a little bit of a flashback right before her death, how Harold, he's talking to her like, hey, we're so close to being officially recognized as the world government. Whenever you get better, you know, we're gonna go around, gonna go and see different places, sightsee like we did in the past. It's gonna be great. You know, we have two kids as well, Loki and Harald. I know they're a little bit different, but guess what? They're still our sons. And then Ida, she's like, yeah, you know, Loki, I've always seen him as Harald's little brother. It's just so dope seeing Harold and Ida, even at her deathbed. She's sitting up in here, just has a smile on her face, and Harold is just genuinely in love with her. And so Harold, he talks about Elbaph's culture a little bit, how he wanted to change it, and Ida's like, yeah, I agree, you know, changing it about 70 or 80% is cool, but Elbaph's pride, I genuinely respect it. I genuinely respect the warriors. To Harold, his rebuttal is like, yeah, but that stupid pride with the elders, it's making us not officially be married. So, you know, touche. But what really sucks is that with all this excitement, you know, just so ecstatic that whenever they finally become a member of the world government, they're going to be able to do all these things. And Ida, we already know she's sick. It might be displayed a little bit differently in the anime, but she looked, I don't want to necessarily say fine, right? But she looked decent for the state that she was in. And when Harold's like, we're going to do all these things, Ida says, hey, I look forward to it, and all of a sudden just passes out. Well, let me not say passes out, she dies, right? She's no longer here. Apparently she was too weak, and you got different people reacting. You got Harold, he's crying. You got Harald, he's crying. One thing that did piss me off is Loki. Loki was thrown in prison. He didn't even get to be there when Ida ended up passing, and Loki, he sees her as his mom, one of the only people that he cares for, and he was thrown in prison. Now this is because of the rampage that he went on. and rightfully so. He took out the people that ended up poisoning Ida, but he also destroyed a lot of towns and a lot of buildings in the process. But I don't give a fluff, and it's obviously because I know the context. The people of Elbaph probably are ignorant to exactly what happened, so shout out Loki for defending his mother, but at the same time, it does stink that he wasn't there when she passed and he couldn't properly say goodbye. But if you guys enjoy regular One Piece content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. We end up cutting back to the Holy Land, and apparently Shanks has gone missing. We don't know what the heck happened to him, but apparently Shanks is missing. I hope that we get to figure out what exactly happened, what made Shanks go missing, but we know that Shanks is undercover, don't necessarily know what his agenda is, and so Shanks, he was next in line to receive the next covenant, but because he's gone, the Gorosei, they're like, you know what, Harald, it's gonna be you. And of course, you know, Harald, he likes gawk, he likes sucking up to the world government. He's like, hey, I'm finally going to, you know, be able to be of use to you guys. You know, I'm really excited. And he even talks about, well, at least the Gorosei, they were a little bit pissed off because when they're like, oh, we need Elbaph's money, Harold's like, actually, once I'm able to join the world government, I'm gonna relinquish the throne. You got this man Jupiter looking like, I know this dude didn't just say that because, well, you'll find out why a little bit later in the chapter, because Imu said, hey, you trying to relinquish that throne? That's for me to decide. And so apparently Imu ended up putting a different covenant. I believe it is the Deep Sea Covenant, whichever is the next level that actually acknowledges you as a member of the Holy Knights. And it kind of looks like the same one as the, I believe it's like the sword or the dual blade or whatever it is, the title that Harald had before. This one is the same thing, but it has like different horns, or it looks like devil horns around it. And so Harald now has the power of immortality, the power of regeneration. Yeah, this dude is broken. Now, Harald does not realize this, but Imu's like, hey, you're gonna do whatever the fluff I say. And Harold's like, yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, I'll agree, you know, to whatever you did. This dude signed the contract without reading the fine print because my boy is cooked. All of a sudden, he's back at Elbaph. He made a circle, you know, the teleportation circle. And Imu's like, hey, mobilize the entire nation of Elbaph and form a grand army with them. And Harold's like, whoa there, buddy. I'm not gonna do that. We're supposed to be peace, right? I'm trying to do everything that I can in order to free Elbaph from violence. Obviously, the people that still want to fight, I'll gladly encourage them. But at the same time, not everyone wants to fight. And Imu says, yo, hold up, let me pull up the receipt. I could have sworn you said that you are going to atone for Elbaph's history, even at the cost of becoming a slave. And now Harold's trying to back up, which I can understand, like, why Harold's this way. I 100% get it. I think he's in the right. But at the same time, where is the lie from Imu? Where is a lie? There's none. Harald said that he'd be willing to do any and everything. And, well, technically, Imu's request, it's any and everything. But Harold's like, hey, I actually meant for me to carry the burden alone, not to involve other people in this. And so Imu's like, well, hold up now. I know it's kind of, you know, finding a loophole, but Imu's like, hey, all, you know, the sins that you committed, oh, Harald, you doing it alone, it ain't enough. And so you're going to obey Imu now. And so Harold's out here freaking out because anybody that has a deep sea covenant, no matter what, can't say no to Imu. They have to obey. And so Harold's getting dragged away. He's like, guards, hey, chain me to this pillar, summon my son, summon Elder Jarl. And we know Loki that he is in jail, so he ends up getting free and he's ordered to go to the castle. There's Elder Jarl as well. I believe House Rudin is currently on an excursion, so unfortunately he wasn't here when this event took place. And now thinking back on it, they mentioned that Shanks was missing. Well, if you actually look back at it, it's because Shanks went back down to the lower realm. We know that he's currently at Elbaph because he's taking that bath or in the hot spring with Gabon. So that's when, remember when Shanks was like, hey, I need to warn Harold? It was probably because he was trying to warn him that Emu didn't give a fluff about him, that Emu was just trying to weaponize the giants of Elbaph. But of course, Shanks, he ended up being too late. So in the next chapter, we're going to actually see what happened to Harold. I assume that he's going to order his guards to, well, stab him so that way that he could die, but well, the guards saying everything, they're immortal. So, well, how the fluff is Harold actually going to die? I'm not entirely sure. We have a break next week, which is unfortunate, but I believe with this flashback, we probably got no more than like 2 or 3 chapters left. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys felt about this chapter in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. And don't forget to unleash your potential.